in Spiritual Economics, page 96, all the substance of the universe, all the wealth that has ever manifested itself or ever will manifest itself in the world is present right now. This is why Jesus said, I came that they may have life and have it abundantly. That's in John 10:10. He means a life that is rich and fulfilled, healthy, prosperous, and loving. Only our lack of perception, our lack of a grateful heart, keeps us from experiencing it. We have the choice to be great or small. When we are grateful, we are great. And when we become lax in the expression of gratitude, we become little people with little minds, leading little inconsequential lives. Give that some thought. Let us affirm together with power. Conscious of my union with God, the universal love intelligence, I am guided into acts of selfless service for the highest well-being of all, placing the well-being of all above the well-being of myself alone. I too love, peace, happiness, and well-being. I stand for spirituality, moral leadership.
Thank you, Nancy.
Well, that sounded good, so now we all know what we're doing.
So this is the conclusion of our series for the month. And so what occurred to me, and I know it's also Thanksgiving, is how does that all tie together with the idea of being a possibilitarian? And there is a connection, and it's my intention to show you the connection. So let's begin with the ultimate truth, the ultimate reality, which is that we live, move, and have our being in a field of infinite possibility and pure potentiality, which is the mind of God. We are surrounded by it. We are filled with it. We are of it. We can never truly be separate from it, except in maybe an idea that we might have, and even then we're not separate, an idea of separation or illusion. This field of infinite potentiality and possibility is something, because we're points of consciousness in it, that we can draw from in any moment. We are truly designed to be possibilitarians. I love that term. It was coined by Norman Vincent Peale. We're designed to be possibilitarians. We're designed to be visionaries. We're designed to bring new ideas from the mind of ultimate reality, of the presence of God, into manifestation in this time-space reality, because we are truly individualized expressions of that one presence. So as we take that in, and as we continue to live in that awareness, we realize that in order to access that kind of consciousness, being a possibilitarian, that it requires that we have certain practices and a certain perspective in our lives. And so the overall perspective of oneness and who we are in truth and what we're designed for, we're designed to be co-creators of heaven on earth with this presence. We realize that there is a way to express that, to bring that into being. And so gratitude is a very high frequency of oneness consciousness. It actually cultivates that. The practice, the conscious choice to be grateful, is a very high frequency way of living. And I'm talking about a frequency that's a vibrational match to oneness consciousness, to being a possibilitarian. So today, I thought it would be really a good idea, since it's the season, to focus on this thing called gratitude, gratefulness, appreciation, offering blessings. They really all kind of fit into the same category of cultivating that oneness consciousness, that being that possibilitarian that we came here to be. So William Arthur Ward said, gratitude can transform common days into Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving doesn't need to just be one day out of the year. It can be every day. Turn routine jobs into joy and change ordinary opportunities into blessings. And even, I'm going to add to that, transform challenges into blessings. And as I was contemplating this, I was actually having a conversation with Michelle last night. We were praying together, and it came to me what it is that gratitude does. And for me, what it does is it cleanses the mind of all idea of separation, the illusion of separation, cleanses the mind of separation, and reveals the good, the glory of the divine, the divinity that's everywhere, in everyone, and in everything. Gratitude does that because you can't be feeling grateful and noticing the good and being miserable at the same time. So when we choose, and we can choose it, even in the midst of something challenging, we can choose to shift. And we may need to work ourselves up the vibrational scale of emotion, but we can eventually get to the point where we're able to feel grateful and to choose to look for the good. We really can do that, even in the midst of a challenging situation. So thanking others, thanking ourselves, thanking Mother Earth, thanking God enlightens our mind. It brings enlightenment. We feel happier. Feeling grateful alleviates the stress response and all that goes with it, anxiety and depression. It alleviates all of that. And it brings on the relaxation response. I'm bringing in a little science along with the spirituality so that we understand what's going on. And scientists have shown that we literally, through the practice of gratitude, rewire our neurobiology for happiness and bliss. We make connections with the part of ourselves that's able to be in a state of bliss. So the benefits of gratitude then are endless. Dan, could you bring up that graphic, please? So, yes, we're thinking in terms of being rewired, but what does that mean? So, if we're rewired for higher states of consciousness, it means that we can live in a better psychological state, right? A happier person. There are physical benefits, better health, stronger immune system, less aches and pains, optimal blood pressure, cardiac functioning, better sleep and wake cycles. And then the social benefits, better communication, more sympathy, stronger personal relationships, more likability among group members, and more involvement as a team member. All of these things are what are outpicturings of a kind of consciousness that lives in a state of gratitude, looking for the good and giving thanks for it. So giving thanks then unveils the illusion of separation so that we actually see the perfection, the spiritual perfection of each person that we come into contact with, the spiritual perfection of nature when we walk through it. We're able to be in the present moment with what's around us instead of having our minds off in some kind of a worry or fear or whatever. We're able to come into present moment reality and see the abundant good that is all around us. And I love that quote, that those who look for the good and are grateful become great. And I have noticed, Tom, that sometimes when you send me an email and it says, I am so grateful, Tom spells it GREATFUL, and I know where that comes from. It's understanding that when we are grateful, we become great. Great in what way? Great in that we are a beneficial presence to everyone around us. We are a beneficial presence. So consider dogs and children and how they respond to your gratitude and appreciation. And I was thinking about my other, not Michelle, but my other daughter Christy has a dog by the name of Pixie. And Pixie, when I've cultivated a relationship with her over time, and giving her lots of love and rubbing her tummy and rubbing her behind the ears and saying, Pixie, I love you, you're so awesome, and all that kind of thing. So when she comes to our house on Sundays and she sees me, she goes bananas. She goes, whoa! And she runs around and she's all excited and that kind of thing. She's a great example of what happens when you show appreciation. Now, for her, showing appreciation is friendly words and petting and rubbing her behind her ears, and then taking her for a walk. We also take her for a walk when she arrives too, so she can't wait to go for the walk. And it's usually with Michelle and Christy and I. So Pixie is just a great example of this. Doesn't just apply to humans, it applies to all beings. In fact, there's research out there that how plants respond to our love, appreciation, and gratitude for them and grow. Seeds germinate quicker, plants grow faster. They've done experimental studies to show how that works. All the living creatures on this planet, and I think Mother Earth too, how she must respond to our love and our gratitude when we walk through nature and just are in awe of all the beauty. So gratitude is such a wonderful thing. And okay, and now my grandsons, my two grandsons. My daughter has been working on helping them become more responsible and take part in the meal, in getting the meals ready and stuff on Sundays. So they help with setting the table and they help with cleaning off the table. And so I've just noticed how when the adults all say, "Thank you, Tristan. Thank you, Rowan," how they just sort of beam, and then often we'll come back and help and do something else. So it helps children understand the importance of contributing to the family and the good feelings that they get from being one who contributes. So this is not only true about children and and dogs and cats and stuff like that. This is true about all of us, isn't it? We love, for the most part, to feel another person's gratitude. And sometimes maybe not. What I've realized, because I've just watched people's reactions over the years of my offerings of love, and sometimes there is and gratitude, and sometimes there's a good response, and sometimes there's like a suspicion, like you're being inauthentic with me, or maybe just not even noticing it. And what I realized is that many of us have been brought up in families where maybe that was not the practice. So it's not second nature, and it's not even considered maybe it's not even considered real. Maybe people think, oh, you're trying to manipulate me or whatever it is. But this is what I offer you. If you have any of that kind of hesitation when someone is grateful for you, I invite you to consider that you have a choice. You can choose to see it as inauthentic. You can choose to ignore it or to brush it off and say, oh, no problem, or whatever. Or you can choose to really receive it. And when you receive it, you are giving yourself the gift of love. You're allowing love into your heart. You're allowing yourself to experience oneness, a deep connection with the other person. So let's practice that for a moment. Yeah, let's practice that. Let's take a deep breath. Let's just turn to somebody and just say something that we're grateful for in them, even if we don't know them. Just say something you're grateful for. Just exchange it. Okay. I'm so grateful for your enormous talent and heart and beauty. I'm so grateful for you and that you're joining us. Okay, now this is what I invite you to do. Take a breath, rub it in, just feel it, feel the love, and look at the person next to you and say, "You are so welcome. You're so welcome. You're so welcome." In other words, you're receiving that love. You are so welcome. You are so welcome. Okay, so now we're all better receivers, right? And this is a practice. This is a conscious practice because I've even noticed myself sometimes somebody says thank you and it goes by and I don't stop and acknowledge it. So it's important that we acknowledge it, that we receive the gift. Because when somebody goes out of their way to say thank you, I'm so grateful for you, I appreciate you, they're giving us a gift of love. And so when we receive it, it feels so good. We deepen our connection with the other person. Yes. So receiving, that's all about receiving gratitude. Also, Wayne Dyer says in Manifest Your Destiny, gratitude is a way of experiencing the world with love rather than judgment. And he gives 3 common types of judgment that we may have, may be a part of the way we operate. Fault finding, finding fault in others, finding fault in ourselves. And so we have a choice. Again, we have a choice. Fault finding or love finding. I love that, right? The second one is complaining. Complaining is what? It's looking for what's wrong and talking about it. So what do you choose? Looking for what's wrong or missing, or looking for the good and giving thanks for it? And the last one is one that's a little bit more subtle, and it's taking what we have for granted. That's a very subtle form of judgment, but it's kind of like saying, well, that's not that valuable to me for me to even notice. So when we notice, just, wow, I have this air to breathe. I have this comfortable seat to sit on. I have this beautiful, the aesthetics team has taken the time to give us a lot of beauty that we can enjoy on our walls. Wow, I feel so grateful that Dan took the time to put some beautiful overheads that help to inspire us, those of us who are visual learners. And wow, Deb and her beautiful talent, we get to be blessed by that. What a joy that is. And Peggy, her willingness to give her heart and her soul into her meditations and her prayers. And I could go on and on and on. We have so many people in this community who give so much, and Virgie, and who's always in the background doing all kinds of things as our administrator, just you know pulling together all kinds of things you don't even know in the background to make sure everything runs smoothly. So much to be grateful for. And so as we as we begin to start noticing and stop taking things for granted or stop depreciating things, we'll find that we will be healthier, happier, and feel more connected with everyone and everything. So, as fellow humans and leaders, we want to serve others and bring out the best in them for them to respond to us with vitality and joy. We really want that beautiful flow of love to take place. And so it begins with the awareness that there is a divine presence at the center of everyone and everything that we can activate with gratitude. This is the spiritual truth. I also know about gratitude that it's the principle of increase. So it's not only about unveiling that good, it's increasing the amount of good that we experience. Ernest Holmes said Jesus recognized God as the supreme presence in the universe, not only outside of people, but within them, and he approached life and people as though this were true. And because he did, his life became a miracle. Everything he touched sprang into a newness of being. He didn't condemn the few loaves and fishes that the little boy brought him to feed the multitude, but he looked up to heaven and gave thanks for their increase. So that these stories, whether you believe that they're actually factual or not, are stories that teach us about the power of gratitude to increase the good that we experience in our lives. So, what would happen if we committed to giving thanks for the increase of the good that's already present in our lives? So, let's practice that now. So, repeat after me. I give thanks for the increase.
I give thanks for the increase
Of love, prosperity, and harmony
of love, prosperity, and harmony
in my family, friends, and community.
in my family, friends, and community.
I give thanks for the increase
I give thanks for the increase
of oneness consciousness within me,
of oneness consciousness within me,
of oneness consciousness within us all.
of oneness consciousness within us all.
I give thanks for the increase
I give thanks for the increase
of love and care
of love and care
for Mother Earth
for Mother Earth
by all of humanity.
by all of humanity.
Right. So that's the principle of increase. And then blessing is really tied into it as well. Using the creative power of blessing is another way of unveiling the good. Because when we're blessing, what are we doing? We're actually acknowledging the good that's already there. So, example, I bless the vision of the Center for Spiritual Living Delaware. As we bless it, we are acknowledging that it's manifesting itself right before our very eyes. I bless my dreams and aspirations. I bless the increase of faith within me. I love that. If you say, well, I'd love to have a little more faith, bless the faith. Try that. I bless the increase of faith within me.
I bless the increase of faith within me.
Isn't that an awesome blessing? I love that. How about this one? I bless into expression my unused and underexpressed talents. How about that one? I love that one. Yeah, let's try that one. I bless into expression
I bless into expression
my unused
my unused
and underexpressed
and underexpressed
talents.
talents.
All right. So there's no way that God can work for us other than working through us. It's through our consciousness and through our willingness to be in alignment with those higher vibrations. If we reject the gifts of life and our gifts and talents that are within us, then what are we doing? How can we ever hope to experience them? If we criticize ourselves or criticize others, how can we ever expect to see the glory of God shine through them? Dan caught me the other night, last night actually, when we have this routine of where he listens to my Sunday message and then starts thinking about slides that he's going to use for them, and gives me any feedback And it's been so helpful. And so I'm always so grateful for that. And then I give him a back rub. That's the exchange. And I said something to him about, well, it would be nice if you said thank you. And he said, didn't you just say something about judgment in here? And I said, you're right. I was judging him because I assumed in advance he wouldn't say thank you. So those, we can support each other is what I'm trying to say on moving forward in consciousness, in becoming more grateful and seeing more of the good in another person. So giving thanks in advance is the way I'd like to end this today. And the thing is we can speed the manifestation process by giving thanks in advance for the good that we desire. And a vehicle that we use for that is so powerful is affirmative prayer, which we call spiritual mind treatment. It's something that's been passed down to us by Ernest Holmes. And it is a beautiful way of acknowledging the spiritual truth that God is all there is, one infinite field of pure potentiality and possibility, universal mind in which we live, move, and have our being. And that divine presence is within us, and everything we could ever need or desire, including all the ideas, is right there within us. Because we are this point of consciousness. I love this idea in the infinite universal mind, and we draw upon the field of possibilities. So as we do that, as we use this beautiful tool of spiritual mind treatment, we end it with, and I give thanks that it is already so. It's already done, and so it is. So let's do that right now. Let's turn within. I am so grateful for knowing that by offering this prayer, that I am allowing my mind to be cleansed of all falsehood, all illusion of separation. And that I am allowing myself, therefore, to dwell in the awareness of ultimate truth, knowing that all there is one life, one source, one presence, one power, a field of pure potentiality and possibility, the infinite universal mind of God that is all intelligence, all love, all peace, all joy, all harmony, and that I am that life. I am that life, and all the attributes and qualities of that life are mine right here and right now. And I know what's true about me is true about everyone in this room. It's true about everyone everywhere. We all partake of the universal mind of God, of all the ideas and solutions and guidance that's already there. And it's right here within the center and core of our being as our very own true self. We are all designed to be possibilitarians. And so we enter this realm of all possibility by looking for the good. Looking for the good. Wherever we go, we see the good. We look for the good. We see it. And we give thanks for it. And by raising ourselves to the gratitude level, to the level of high appreciation, we soar. We soar with wings of freedom and love and joy. And we are a beneficial presence for the planet. This is the truth of who we are. This is what we are meant to be. This is who we are meant to show up as. We are source presence itself in expression. And I also know that as we bless everyone and everything with the qualities of God that are already inherent in them, that we are truly unveiling, revealing the beautiful, glorious good that's already there. And how wonderful that is. And we're also caring for our own well-being, our health, psychologically and physically, and our connections and relationships with one another. So as we stand in this field of gratitude, this vibration of the Most High, I give my thanks I give my thanks for the blessings that are abounding in our lives. And so, with a joyful heart, a grateful heart, a heart full of appreciation, I release this word to the universal law of mind, that creative medium that surrounds us, that takes the impress of this word and brings it into manifestation in the most amazing and miraculous ways. And I just get to witness that. We all get to witness that. So let's accept this truth by saying together, yes, and so it is. Amen.
When I look down